Is it really a shocking statement to say that 1 out of every 3 people blow their inheritance? Now, I've seen this happen time and time again where somebody inherits some money and within 3 months, 6 months, less than a year, all the money is gone. It doesn't matter how much they inherited, whether it be $25,000, $1 million, some way, somehow, these people find a way to blow it. So when I got this subscriber question about somebody that just inherited a big fat chunk of money and they want to make sure that they don't blow it, that they don't lose all that money, become a statistic, I want to make sure that I not only answer their question, but I did a video on it because chances are you may inherit some money, and I want to make sure that you put that money to work, that it goes towards building wealth and you just don't blow it on something stupid. So let's find out what this reader question is right now. Not only do 1/3 of people blow all of the inheritance money, but it's also reported it's just not the average people. With wealthy people, it's reported that over 70% of the wealth transfer doesn't make it past the second generation. So it doesn't matter if you have $1 million, $5 million, $1 billion, some way, somehow, by the time the second generation comes around, the money is gone. So you gotta make sure that you're doing the smart thing, that you're just not blowing it on stupid things. So, all right, so let's find out what the reader had to ask in this situation. All right, so the question is, my spouse and I will be inheriting about $750,000 to $800,000. That payoff balance of our mortgage is estimated at about $180,000 at 3.5% APR for 30 years. Would it be worthwhile to allocate some of the money we are inheriting to pay off the mortgage loan? We still have 27 years left to pay. Alternatively, should I invest the money and continue paying my mortgage? I told you this was a fat inheritance. To be able to inherit $750,000, $750,000, like that's not a bad position to be in. Now, personally speaking, the only inheritance that I ever received was about $8,000 that I got from my grandmother. And I used most of that to pay off some of my student loan debt, used some of that for savings, investing. But I could easily see how getting a chunk of money, no matter how small or how large, how tempting it can be to go out and want to buy things, a new house, a new car, new clothes, new computers, new whatever. The list goes on and on of the different things that you can buy or that you think that you want to buy, the things that you want to justify that you need. I have other stories I could share of people blowing a lot bigger chunks than this person is inheriting and doing it in record time. It's almost like they were in a contest of how quickly they could blow the inheritance money. But what it sounds like the really big question here is that this person has a mortgage, they owe $180,000 with a really good rate, 3.5%. I mean, so they locked in at a very good time. They're getting $750,000, and I could see the dilemma here. It's like, do we want to go ahead and just pay off the mortgage and be done with it? Or we have a mortgage at a very low rate, it's locked in for 30 years, it's 3.5%. Do we want to just take that money and invest it and then continue to pay on the house because we can invest that, maybe make more, make more than that 3.5%, plus we still get the interest mortgage deduction, with that mortgage payment. So I mean, I could see like what is the right decision, what is the best decision to do with this money. Now, since I'm a finance guy, you're probably thinking that I've got spreadsheets and I'm putting these numbers in and I'm crunching numbers to see what's going to make the most sense over the long term, doing future value calculators, putting in different percentages, interest rates that they can earn, investment returns. And there definitely was a time like when I would do this because it is fun to put in the calculations to see, if I'm paying 3.5% interest on my mortgage, but I'm able to invest that money and make 5%, 6%, or maybe closer 8 to 10%, depending how aggressive that I want to be, what would be the net return? Like how much more would I potentially be making by doing that? Obviously, to do that, there is risk involved, right? The safe play is to go ahead and pay off the mortgage. You're debt free. That's basically like a guaranteed 3.5% return, and be done with it. You're debt free and you still have well over $500,000 left to invest, to take a vacation, or to maybe splurge a little bit on some of the things that you might need or that you might want, because you still have a good chunk of money. So while there was a time that I would crunch the numbers, that I would do the spreadsheets, I mean, there's some other things that we want to take into consideration that this person hasn't mentioned. You know, how much do they currently have saved? How much are they able to save? You know, are they putting away money in a 401k, in a Roth IRA? You know, those are some other factors that would play into this. But what I've come to realize is that when somebody is looking at paying off a mortgage, paying off a debt to where they know they can be done with it, versus investing the money and potentially making, you know, a net positive return on splitting the difference, what it comes down to is, what is your investment personality? What is your investment risk tolerance? What can you stomach when it comes to investing? Because it's easy to say, oh, well, I'm paying 3.5%, so I can invest this and make 8%, so I've got a net positive return of 4.5%. Now that sounds good to say it out loud, that sounds good and looks good on paper, but what happens that in the first year that you invest, you don't make 8% and you only make 5%, or you lose 2%. Now, what sounded really good in theory hasn't worked out in practice, so now it's like, crap. The whole emotional psychology of investing comes into play here, to where, man, I could have been debt free and paid that off, and now you start regretting the decision that you made. And I see so many people do this because it's easy to see the return, but until it actually happens and you're dealing with real money, that you're seeing negatives and not pluses, that you're seeing red instead of green, that's when it becomes real, and no one likes to lose. So when I start thinking, what would I tell this person? What would I suggest they do? Now granted, I don't have all the information here, but if I were to put myself in their situation, what would I do? The funny thing is that I'm in the process of coming across a chunk of money. It's not an inheritance, it's the sale of a business, where I do have the potential to pay off my mortgage and be completely debt free. And eventually I will do that, but for the first year or so, I'm gonna sit on the money. I'm gonna put most of it in cash. I'm gonna maybe put some short-term investments, maybe put some of that in the market. But for the most part, I'm gonna sit on that because I just wanna see how things roll out, how things unfold. And that's the beauty of getting a chunk of money, is that you don't have to make a decision today. You don't have to make a decision tomorrow. You can sit on the money and wait. Most people would, I've seen people criticize, like, oh, you're just keeping that in cash. Like, you're losing out. I mean, that's opportunity cost, that you're missing out on potential return. Okay, yeah, maybe, but you can't really quantify what it looks like to be able to sit on that money and make an investment that you are fully invested in, that you are confident in, that you just feel like this is the right thing. Because the last thing you want to do is put your money into something that you don't understand, or where you're not ready, and then you lose something, or it's tied up in something that you don't understand, and now you can't get it out. So what would I tell this person to do right now? I would tell them to sit tight, to wait on it. Sit on it for at least a year before making this decision, because so much can happen in a year. Like, you think that you got all things planned out, and for anybody that has lived life, that has a career, that has kids, you understand that life happens and so much can change so quickly. So let's just wait and sit to see if that's what we really want to do. Because maybe this sounds like a good idea now, but it might not seem like the best idea 3 months from now, 6 months from now, and 9 months from now. So just sit and wait a year to see if you are fully vested in the idea of paying off the house, becoming totally debt-free, versus investing that money. You don't have to make a decision now. People are going to tell you that you do, that you're losing money by not investing it, that there's so many different options that you can do, and you're not making the best decision. Listen, do not listen to those people. Tune them out. Don't listen. Make the best decision for you. And until you can actually just sit and see what your financial situation is going to be in the next year, the best thing that you can do is wait. All right, well, I hope that you enjoyed this question. If you have other questions you want me to answer, feel free to hit me up. Happy to answer any of your questions. I mean, these are actually some of my most favorite because they're fun to answer. I love helping people in real situations. This is Jeff Rose reminding you that it's your money, it's your life, and only you can make it awesome. Until next time, peace. So when I got this question from one of the YouTube community, oh my gosh. So when I got this subscribe, oh my gosh, I can't talk. So when I got this subscriber question, best thing for their money, with this money, so that